My biggest concern about this video is that people are going to read the title and they're going to be like, when you hold your frame despite other people's opinions. Your frame? What frame are you talking about? An art frame? Where did you get it from? Michaels? Blick? And they're just not really going to understand. But that's why I'm here to just, make things understandable. And by the way, I understand that, like, in all of my videos, I tend not to look at the camera that's looking at me. Instead, like, I look over there, or sometimes I just, like, look out like I am introspecting and thinking about everything, because I always am. Just kidding. Anyway, so when you hold your frame despite other people's opinions, I want to kind of contrast this video with a video that I made, I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago. And that video was all about when you expect the world to change for you, right? And I was talking in that video about how oftentimes we give our personal power away. We're so tuned into everyone else. And with that, we're kind of like waiting for acceptance, for approval, for validation, and for all that stuff to be somebody, to do something. Maybe something that's important to us, something that we want to do, right? And so the reason that this video contrasts that is because this video is all about bringing your power back to yourself. It's not a bad thing, obviously, to rely on other people. Collaboration is absolutely wonderful. It's beautiful. It's important. And that's fantastic. But the main focus of this video is really just exploring a person's frame, right? And when I say frame, I'm not referring to like a physical frame that you would buy at an art store. I'm referring more so towards boundaries, self-expression, who a person is, who a person chooses to be, right? And there's going to be an interesting contrast here, a very, very cool contrast. And it's going to be following along the lines of the difference between somebody who, is confident. They do something and they're confident about it and they can hold their frame, versus somebody who is very reliant on other people and getting other people's approvals and validations and acceptance. Neither are good nor bad, but this is definitely a matter of healthy versus unhealthy. If you are so caught up in, other people's validation and approval, and you don't think for yourself and do for yourself, you're not really going to have a strong frame, because you're not really being, self-sufficient. And so when you hold your frame despite other people's opinions or even criticism, there was a point in my life when I wasn't so in flow and confident about making YouTube videos. In fact, there was a point when I was like looking at my YouTube channel and I was like, I don't really know if this is cool. I don't know if people like this. I don't know if it's going to go anywhere, right? There was a point when I had under 100 subscribers, and I thought that to get more subscribers, I needed to already have more. Like, I thought that nobody would even want to see any of my videos if I had anything under 1,000 subscribers, which I still do, right? But the fascinating thing here is that this has become so natural to me and a part of who I am that I don't even think about that anymore. And whether or not the subscribers to continue to come is not really it for me. What it is for me is, and I'm making this choice now because, again, this has to do with frame. This has to do with who I am, who Chris is. And that's the important thing here. I've made a choice to be a daily YouTuber, to talk about my life, to talk about things I'm going through, to talk about, personal development and everything, to storytell. That's just who I am, right? Whatever comes along with that is a byproduct, and I'm grateful for all of it, but this is a part of my frame now, right? And so here's the funny thing too, right? When I hold my frame despite other people's opinions, say for instance, I'm a writer, right? Which I am. I write a lot. I love writing. I journal on a daily basis, both morning and night. The morning journaling happens more often than the nighttime journaling. Sometimes I get too busy and I kind of just like forget to journal at night. But that is who I am, right? If somebody were to say something about that, if their opinion moves me, right? You know, if maybe if they're like, oh, you're a journaler? Really? You journal? How's that working out for you? You know, maybe they're just projecting their own their own insecurities onto me. Maybe they want to, I don't know. It's like, oh, he's a journaler. You know, like he journals. He's one of those. It's like it's yeah. People are people. But what matters is that I don't look at that and I'm like, yeah, I journal. I swear. I swear. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see my journals? Do you want to see what I write about? Will it make you realize that I'm real? That I'm actually a journaler, and that will maybe, you know, move you closer to validating and accepting me and giving me the approval that I so deeply crave. Because without that, I don't feel like what I'm doing is real, and I just no. Like, who wants that? Seriously, who the hell wants that? So when you hold your frame, despite other people's opinions and criticisms, that's a matter of knowing the self. Like, it does not matter what it is that they say. It does not matter how legit they think it is. What matters is that it is real and that you know that it's real and everything. And basically, you know, the most fascinating thing about all of this, and I've really been like stepping into this a lot lately. It's so cool. The fascinating thing about all of this, I learned this from another YouTuber, but I'm pretty sure that I've heard other people talk about it. The person said that, like, every single moment of life we are being reborn, and therefore we can be whoever we want to in any given moment of life. And that's the magic of life. That's the power of life. So like right now, like woohoo! I don't know who the fuck heard that. I don't know, and I don't care. And somebody might be like, what the fuck was that, right? I don't care. Like, you can do anything that you want. That dude's window to his car is open over there. I'm pretty sure that he heard me. You know, like, it's fine. And, you know, it's so fascinating because throughout my entire life, that dude probably heard me. I was like, woohoo! Throughout my entire life, I've just worried about things that I didn't need to. I've been so tuned into everyone else and just worrying about their opinion of me and everything. But now what I'm doing is I'm bringing all of my focus, awareness, and energy back to myself and into my body and focusing on what does Chris want, and also realizing with that in any single moment, in every single moment of life, I can choose to be whoever, whatever, and however. Maybe not whenever yet, because I don't know if time travel is real. Shout out to Doc, Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future. Great movie. If that resonated with your childhood, leave a comment below. Back to the Future was a massive film from my childhood. I mean, I'm pretty sure that movie came out before I was born, but it was still a massive part of my childhood. But yeah, like, the fascinating thing about being in your frame and not worrying about what other people think, well, first and foremost, understand that you learned to be, like, attuned to what other people think, right? It didn't come from nowhere. I don't really know how much of a, like, normal, natural, healthy thing that is as a human, especially when it's, like, absurd and, like, hyper focused. But, like, that was learned from somewhere. Like, hyper attunement to other people and worrying so much about it, that's not healthy. That really isn't. And so that's why bringing the focus, awareness, and energy back to the self and into the body, which is what I'm working on right now and what I'm practicing, it changes everything, right? Because then it doesn't matter what it is that you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're doing YouTube videos, journaling, you're learning to play soccer, you're learning to do something new that you haven't done before. What matters is how you feel about it and how you see yourself. right? But if you're somebody who has been very conditioned by being highly attuned to other people and worrying about what they might think about what it is that you're doing, that's going to distract you, right? And it's going to make you less confident to actually pursue things because you're more focused on what they're thinking about you rather than what you're doing and enjoying for yourself. So when you hold your frame, picture frame, I can just imagine walking down the street with this like massive like gold beautifully trimmed frame from like Michaels or Blick. Just carrying this frame around with you. Hey guys, this is my frame. This is my stuff. These are my boundaries. Respect me. I don't know why I sounded like a foreigner on that one. But truly, like that's really what it is. And it's so cool because like when you can and when you do hold your frame despite other people's opinions, maybe they might say things that try to make you question whether or not you actually have confidence in what it is that you're doing, whether you actually want to do it. Maybe they might make you feel inferior or insecure for whatever reason. That's their own stuff. That's 100% their own stuff. They're just projecting and displacing and all that stuff. Maybe they're sublimating as well. But being able to hold your own frame despite what other people think about you, that's the magic. That's the oil that keeps the engine running, right? When you are trying to be somebody while being so highly attuned to other people and just giving into their opinions and criticisms, that's like running an engine without oil. It's not going to work. It keeps stopping. It keeps halting. It keeps halting at everyone's opinions. And it's like, oh, well, they don't seem sure of it, so I can't be sure of it, so I might as well just stop. It's not real for me. It's not authentic for me. Like, it's just so easy to cave at that point, right? This is why focusing on yourself and understand why you're doing what it is that you're doing and doing it because you actually want to and not just because other people are telling you you're supposed to. Doing it because you actually want to. That's the magic. So when you hold your frame despite other people's opinions, it's because you know you. And you've brought all of your focus, awareness, and energy back to yourself and into your body, and you're confident in what it is that you want, and you're not worried about whether or not other people, approve or disapprove. It doesn't matter. You're not looking for their validation. You're looking for your own sense of enjoyment, of the process, of the craft, of whatever it is, and that is literally all that it's about.